What's going on, y'all? It's your girl, Amaya Desire, and of course, Denny C23. And as you'll notice, we are in the same place.
What's going on, guys? Yes. Denny has moved to Baltimore, man, and we are now in the same studio space.
Yes, we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty sure y'all know he's getting on my nerves already. But nonetheless, we are back with another review for y'all. You guys have had about 10 days to get it together now. Squid Game Season 2 has arrived on Netflix. And boy, it is a bunch of shenanigans because we allowed them to shenan once in season 1 and now they're back to
shenanigan. I'm not gonna lie. The way it took the turns in the show, I was kind of looking forward to something a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie before we even get into it. But I'm not gonna lie, they got me hooked already.
They did. I think
they did just enough. I feel like they didn't go above and beyond, but they did just enough.
I won't say above and beyond. I will say that they did a good job. However, I am very hard on TV shows and movies because I'm the type of person who I want to be able to know that that's not gonna happen if I think it's gonna happen. And when I think it and it happens, I'm like, come on, like give me more. That's all I'm saying. Give me more. I think that's been my theme for the last couple of shows that we've done. So maybe for 2025 we will do something new. By the way, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
All right. So
let's jump right in.
Let's dive in. So your boy Sejong, right? We know from last season that he's been on this rampage of vengeance, essentially, because he wants to get these games shut down, right? And you see his dynamic where we get the intro and everything. He's cut off. First of all, I was trying to figure out, why did he have red hair anyway?
So I believe in the ending of season 1, he like dyed his hair red before going to see his daughter or something like that. Like it was like something along those lines. I'm not mistaken. I think he was about to get on the plane with the red hair. Like he got all dressed up nice.
Yeah.
And, got his hair the color he wanted, like an anime character and shit. So it's like, I think that's what happened. And then from there, it kind of goes into like a spiral, slippery slope of what he's been up to for the last few years.
A very slippery slope. So I will say this. So of course, we see him going. He gets the phone call. They're like, "You should have took your ass on the plane," and he's like, "No, because like I'm gonna shut you guys down." And I'm not gonna lie. A piece of me was like, "This is not going to end well, right?" Because
he's stupid.
No, not even that. No, let's be real, right? If this was a movie, he did a pretty good job. Somebody found him that was willing to help him, right? He was able, even though the boss, Mr. Kim, got killed, he was able to get the other dude, and they finally believed his story, right? So now it's like, okay, things are coming together. However, Squid Games in that entirety is way bigger than the three of them trying to go after them. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's where I think things get a little tricky, because it's like, bro, it's like trying to take on Chase Bank, right? Like if me and you were like, yo, they owe us money and we about to go take them down, what exactly do you think is going to happen? I don't see that going our way.
If there's a will, there's a way. And I feel if you get the right person with the right motivating force, you'd be surprised the mountains that they move. And I always support the little man and the underdog.
I support
which is Sejong, like a song, however you pronounce his name.
Sejong.
Sejong.
Yeah. So, I just think that for me, I just wanted them to win. So we're gonna do our best to give you guys all the information that we need, or that you need rather. But the season came out all at once. There's so many different points to hit. If we missed something, feel free to drop your comment. Let us know what you thought about this season. Do you like it? Do you think that there's a part 2 or just a season 3? Because, we've been hearing rumors.
Yes.
So let us know. So, of course, Sejong has the hotel. Just going to give the rundown, right? He bought the hotel. He's living in the hotel. and he has hired the man that he owed money to. First of all, that's a bomb ass move.
That's a boss move.
That's a boss
I'm
move.
not gonna lie. First of all, he had the hotel set up like the Batcave
He
lair,
definitely did.
like criminal mastermind underground station, battle station headquarters. Okay, then to pay the man that was trying to kill you to now work for you,
Yeah.
and to have him respect you and make his that's
Yeah.
well done, well written. Well,
he had the whole
listen.
squad. First of all, I don't understand where they were and how they were able to cover the whole subway station, because we from New York. It ain't you need mad people, way more people to search the whole entire metro system.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie though, they did have a good amount of numbers.
They did.
And they had people in pairs too.
They did. Smart.
So that was definitely
really smart.
They had a good little game
plan
going.
System. They had a system. And of course, so Sejong is doing this smart. He's looking for the man in the tuxedo. I call him Mr. Briefcase, and he's always so crazy. But Mr. Briefcase, they're looking for him, been looking for him for 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. And so they're saying that this is about the time that the game starts. So if anything, this will be the perfect time to catch him. Mm-hmm. And so they go out on their hunts to find him. Meanwhile, we get part 2 of this of this kind of situation, which is Gi-hun, who is the brother of Inho, who got shot because his brother shot him and he fell off a cliff, right? And he's been out searching for the last 3 years for this island that he fell off of. And
it's so crazy that you mentioned that, is that like in this episode he talks about it briefly with like a former colleague, boss,
the boss,
whatever,
the
captain. Mm-hmm. And he's just like how he doesn't remember the shooter's face, and it's like, dude, foreshadowing for later on. You just put so much more pressure, so much more effort into your search without even complying to the bare minimum.
What do you mean?
Like, how do you not remember your brother's face? Or did you not want to give up your brother?
Yeah, he didn't want to give up his brother.
And that's the thing, though. Like, why wouldn't you want to give up your brother? He shot you. Although you shot him first, but still,
already know.
Let me know. If you shoot your brother first because you thought he was a bad guy,
right? But
then you realize it was your brother and he shoots you back, you mad or no? Let me know in the comments.
No, people. There are some people who take family very serious, and I think that if anything, he also thought that after having the conversation with Sejong that they were going to be able to catch them, right? First of all, unrealistic. You have never, ever, 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 ever in your life gotten a root canal with no anesthesia. What is happening over there in Seoul?
First of all. They numbed his mouth with needles. I seen it.
When?
In our imagination.
Yeah, exactly.
They left a lot to the imagination.
No, my man literally held his. This was his anesthesia right here.
That was a big ass tooth. That tooth came out like this with the prongs.
First of all, that's too much. Okay.
That was a lot.
No bleeding, no swelling, and my man was talking in the same day. Lies.
First of all, there was no swelling. He did this.
Wait,
that's what I get.
No, that's your head.
Oh, look, no swelling, no.
Seriously. Because for real though, I thought that was crazy. So I think that in Jinho's mind, when all this is happening, and again, like I said, we're gonna hop around because the season itself is just really blended together.
Right.
I think he just thought maybe they had an actual chance and he would be able to capture his brother first, and
without having to get to the real law involved.
Yes.
As he went to the real law the first time and they laughed in his face.
They did laugh in his face. I'm not really sure what he thought was gonna happen.
It's like, at what point do you like how do you omit certain parts? Like that's what I'm not understanding when it comes to my man Gi-hun.
I think that he just really thought that he would be able to get hands on his brother, but like we learned later on in the season, like him keeping that information was definitely it created so many issues for Sejong, which I was really mad about and also I feel like Sejong is a little gullible, right?
Nah, because he was apprehensive at first, but he showed up every time until he
but it was too
didn't.
on point, bro. It was too the showing up was too on point. You ever
But he's been in there with people before, and he made friends last time he was in there.
No, I know that, but there were also people that he knew he had to look out for because they was something was a little off.
Right? He thought that was Thanos.
Nah, Thanos, that's a whole nother bro. That man was bonkers, and he listen. I was waiting for him to die. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I was. Tell me, am I wrong? Did y'all not hate Thanos and was ready for him to die? Because I was ready for him to die.
I'm not gonna lie, but my man said Thanos. I got all the Infinity Stones. I started dying.
No, the Infinity Stones on his hand by painted color was like
that was. I'm not gonna lie. I like the concept, brother. I'm with you. Horrible execution. No, I hated it.
I just don't.
Listen.
I don't understand. I just think that it was interesting, and also in this first episode, we see Mr. Briefcase. Right? Is this all happening in episode 1? It is.
Yeah.
And the whole bread versus the lotto ticket situation. Right? And here's what I think about this entire season. I think the entire season is to show you that greed will outweigh your other the things you need in life, right? Which to me is crazy. So they gave them the option. I feel like one person out of the whole entire bunch that he went around to chose the bread. Everybody else chose the lottery ticket.
That's a fact.
And they all lost. And then he took the bread, dumped it on the floor, and said, "You all did this, not me." And he's not wrong. They absolutely did do that. But what did you think about that scene overall?
I felt that scene spoke volumes about where we are as a people. I feel like it really be like that. Like people will dangle a carrot in front of your face just to distract you from what's the necessity that you truly need. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people, they get so caught up on greed and wanting more that they don't appreciate what's right in front of them that's already there. Like the food is already here in front of you for you to have. You're hungry.
Yeah.
But you're going to try to go for the money to get more food, to get more whatever it is that probably puts you in the predicament that you in. Make it make sense. Sustainability over greed.
But that's the thing. I think that, and I'm just wondering. We'll get further into that. But I thought for sure I was like, this is nuts, because why would you do that to yourself? But let's talk about my favorite people who weren't my favorite people at first, Mr. Kim, and what is his name? Because I forgot.
Junbei or Daewoo?
Daewoo? No, Mr. Kim and Mr. Happy Man. That's what I call him, because he's a hype man. That's what I called him. He was a hype man. He literally was like, at first.
What's his name? Darn, what is his name?
I can't remember.
Woosak.
Oh, yes. And that's a perfect name for him too, because it sounds like a happy name. It sounds very
woo.
Yeah, it sounds fun. It sounds hype, but
you don't say it like I just said it.
No.
I was just butchering his name.
So of course, Sejong says, don't even encounter this man. Don't interact with him. Stay as far away until I get there. Not that Sejong, I feel like, would have done any better, but nonetheless, they end up getting caught.
Sejong had a gun.
Yeah, but
he have a gun.
But he still ain't even. Well, that's not true. I guess he did.
He kicked their ass.
I mean, first of all,
with a briefcase.
I'm not gonna go there. But nonetheless, I think that they get caught, and of course, Mr. Briefcase makes them play a game. And what other than, first of all, we know it as rock, paper, scissors, but they have it as
Rochambeau.
What is it?
Rochambeau.
Rochambeau -1.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. It's rock, paper, scissors -1. So it's 2-hand rock, paper, scissors. And you just take one away.
Okay. So I'm looking at this game and I'm like, nah, bro, this is crazy. So I'm calling him Hype Man. Hype Man doesn't pull his hands back on the first go round, right? So they start playing the game. This and the third. My man is playing Russian. So it's Russian Roulette, actually, right? So it's the gun is happening. So basically Russian Roulette plus
the Rochambeau. So let's break it down.
Yes.
So Russian Roulette is, you have a revolver, 6 slots, 1 bullet goes in, you spin it, you close the gun. You click it to your head for whoever loses the Rochambeau rock, paper, scissors -1 game. And continue.
Okay, so yeah, so basically, because Hype Man did not play, he ended up losing technically, and so the gun was pulled, the trigger was pulled, but no bullet came out. And then they end up doing what? Like he ends up switching it, right?
Yeah,
Nobody dies.
changing the
And
odds.
then he
So
says five. He puts five
yeah,
bullets in there,
yeah.
and there's only one empty
So
slot.
it's 5 to 1, like 1 to 6. It went from 1 to 6 to 5 and 6 odds.
Reversing the odds, like Tom said. Yep.
Yeah, that is crazy.
5 to 1 is just not, it's not it. It's very not nice. But he knew what he was doing. And so then of course, um unfortunately Mr. Kim dies because, and I think that
There we go.
he intentionally did not play because Wusak has the wife and the kids, and he officiated their wedding and everything like that. So I feel like he was just basically sacrificing himself.
To
Which
be
I'm,
completely honest, though, if Wusak didn't pull his hands back, they both would have been disqualified. Therefore, they would have had to go again.
if he didn't pull his
Right.
hands back.
Because
No, because Mr.
yeah,
Kim
because he
had
had two
paper
rocks. Right. And he had paper
and
and
scissors.
scissors. He had 2 rocks.
Right.
Exactly. So being that he didn't pull neither back, if he would have kept his his 2 rocks there, no one would have. There would have been a draw, like a stalemate, because no one followed the rules. They both would have been disqualified.
But
Would
if
have had
they
to go
both
again.
followed the rules, then Mr. Kim would have lost.
If they both,
Well, he would have. He would have won.
he would have won or lost either way because he had the paper and the scissors.
Yes, he would have had to
So
pull back.
he had to really
He would have had
choose
to pull
whether to
back
kill
scissors.
you or save himself and
Yeah, and he chose to kill himself.
himself
So
and save you. So
listen, I like Mr. Kim. I think
what would you have
watching
done?
them, who am I?
It doesn't matter who you are. You
No,
and
that is, 'cause
you
if I'm
you
Mr.
and you and
Kim,
you and your best friend like sitting across from each other right now, and you have paper.
No, I can't do that.
You're Mr. Kim. You have paper and scissors, and your best friend has 2 rocks. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know. That's too complicated.
Too complicated.
Yeah, it's too complicated.
I'm not gonna lie. I can make a new friend. Sayonara. I'm
Nah,
joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
That's
I'm joking.
crazy.
I'm joking.
I
But
think
that is crazy. I feel like that is probably one of the hardest things you will have to make a decision on.
But I love compassion being shown in this first episode, and I
Yeah.
think that that's very telling. So I really like that. At the end of this episode, Mr. Briefcase finds Young. He finds him at the hotel. The hotel is lit up, which I like. I like that pause when he pulls up to the hotel. He's getting ready to go in, and he comes back out, and he realizes the light for the hotel is now on, which of course it's never been. So very, very interesting. And
Honestly, this is probably entering one of my favorite parts of the show as a whole is when they finally do meet face to face Sejong and Sejong and Mr. Briefcase. And this part is so crazy because it's like not only did he already know where you were after you were hiding.
No, he didn't already know. Remember, him and Wusak had a conversation.
He had a conversation. That doesn't mean he told them the location. Because think about it. I feel like they already had eyes on him.
I mean,
they knew
that could be true.
They never took eyes off of him, I feel like. Because he said that, like, when they were having the conversation, he was mentioning things that he had like he was like, oh, you've been looking for me, you've been doing this, you should have just got on the plane and this and that. Like, he was, because they had eyes on him after he won to make sure that he got away. Once he dedicated his life to them, I feel like is when they started formulating a new plan.
Well,
because
I don't know.
Even with the game between Mr. Briefcase and Sejong, the Russian Roulette, and how that was the trend from the first episode to the next episode, and how it continued, and then it went to show like the true luck that's on Sejong's side. Like the true, like whatever it is that he has on his side is truly on his side.
Well, I think he is lucky,
He's
and
a
I
good
guess
gambler.
we'll never know really how Mr. Briefcase found him, but he did find him, and Young is mad calm, very collected when this happens, the encounter. And he's like, let's play a game, and all the questions, all the answers that you want to the questions you have is right here in my pocket, and at the end, I'm super glad that Mr. Briefcase died. Um, and in the midst of
I think you
that,
got a lot of cheer for a lot of people dying in
I
this show,
do. I
man.
do. This
Like,
is gonna be the season of I'm glad he's dead. And so yeah, like this whole Russian roulette thing is happening again, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually I thought a little bit more outside the box on this one because Sejong was so calm. I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, this man has a gun strapped to the bottom of
on
the
the
table.
table, like
Like I'm like, he's
we
cool
all in his
because
space too, though. So
right.
like
That's what I'm
anything is
figuring.
possible.
Anything is possible, but he plays the game. He has this conversation. They're talking. Mr. Briefcase is talking trash, essentially saying like, you're worthless, and Sejong is basically saying like, hey, you are just a lapdog, right? You literally you don't do anything outside of like just how high is when they tell you to jump. That's your response.
That's a fact.
So Russian roulette happens, he dies, and then he gets the card. But now Officer Jung Ho comes in, and he's like, "You're under arrest," which I thought was hilarious. Like, sir, get out of here!
First of all, Junho, you just got here.
He definitely did.
You just got here. I don't care what you thought you knew, what you think you know. You just got here. Junho climbing into the building was crazy too, though.
Was it though? This is something that Junho would do.
Junho climbed into the building. He turned in from traffic cop to Inspector Gadget.
He was a detective, right? He decided to not be a detective and go to a traffic cop. He had the whole conversation about, oh, y'all need evidence. Well, if I'm a traffic cop, the evidence is always there. So I'm going to do this instead of being a detective. So he's always at heart, he's going to be a detective. So he gets inside the window. He manages to get out, which is fine. And this is not actually, this is at the other spot. This is not the hotel that he's in. And then he definitely does make it over to that hotel finally. He comes in and he's trying to tell Sejong that he is under arrest, and Woosak comes in and hits him over the head, and he's half naked, tied up, because Mr. Briefcase first of all, Mr. Briefcase is crazy because he brought him back to the hotel. But yeah, he hits him over the head, and Sejong is talking to Woosak, and he's like, "Wait, it's me. I work with Mr. Kim. Da da da."
Right. Remember.
So now he's able to talk to Junho after everything happens. He's sitting there talking to him, and he's like, "You could use my help. I told you I was looking for my brother. Yada yada yada." So they decide. This sends them down the path of I don't know. I'm just gonna go with The Incredibles, right?
The Avengers Assemble.
So now they got hitmen, they got former ex-marines.
Hold on. Can we talk about walking into the room full of money on the bed?
Oh yeah, because like that's the best way to keep it safe.
Like I said, yo, my man. You don't trust banks?
No, I wouldn't trust. Well, technically, here's the thing: I wouldn't trust the bank either. If he's got it in cash, did they give it to him in cash?
No, they gave it to him on a card. Remember?
Oh, they sure did.
He took all. He cleared it out.
Hey, listen, that's what I would do. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I ever won lottery, would I keep my money in the bank? I would just get a safe in my house.
Why wouldn't you? All right, who are you?
Like, I mean, now I'm rich.
Rich? Scrooge McDuck? Like, what are you doing? Like, why do you need a safe?
Now I'm rich. No, you know why I say that?
Big ass safe. You're gonna have $4 billion in a safe in your house.
Yes, absolutely. Here's why. Because we live in the world of hackers and scammers, and I do not trust that my money is digitally safe. Physically, yes, but if it goes missing digitally, it's also missing physically because it's not like they're not going to question that. So it's problematic for me.
Okay.
So I would rather keep it physically somewhere, maybe not in my house, but somewhere that I could have
But he
access
did have
to
a
it.
fortress too. Like that joint was really on to the T. Had cameras everywhere. Like, yeah, I guess it wasn't a horrible place to keep it.
It wasn't horrible because nobody's checking for an abandoned hotel, right? So I think that it was fine. But I think my issue was that I don't know if I could trust Wusak not to tell anybody that that's where
Yeah,
the
the
money
money at.
is.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. The same way he just ratted you out, he gonna rat about the money, and
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, if he did write him out, because we don't know. So far,
Nah.
he's been loyal. So far, he's been loyal. So I'm happy about that because he did just meet Seong, kind of, sort of, but
Right.
they've been working for him for the last 2 years. So yeah, so they hire all these ex-Marines and ex-Special Forces and this and the third. They go to the club because this is where he's supposed to meet the person that was on the card that Mr. Briefcase gave him. And then they go in here and they're like trying to figure out why everybody is dressed up. And I'm just like,
First of all, it's a
hello,
Halloween
it says
party,
October 31st. Like, I'm very
and
confused.
I want to just shout out to Squid Game for acknowledging that they really killed the Halloween game when after the original show came out, because everyone had a Squid Game or wanted a Squid Game,
Yeah,
some
facts.
type of costume. So shout out to y'all, man, because y'all
Facts.
definitely was killing the game with that. So
Definitely.
so the homage to that.
Yeah,
dope.
I knew somebody who dressed up as the doll, the red light, green light doll, and that was
Oh, that's fire.
yeah, spooky. Maybe I'll do Squid Games this year for Halloween. Just get like 5 of us to start scaring the shit out of people.
Right?
That would be kind of cool.
That sounds good to you. Want to play a game?
Listen, I want to learn how to play that game.
What, Daki?
Yes, I would. I actually want to learn how to play that. Like,
So
I just want to know how hard it is or isn't to play.
to get the squares to flip over.
Because I feel like
I'm
that's
not
a
gonna hold you.
force that.
We could make that
I mean,
happen.
why not? You
Yeah.
know, we figure it out.
Okay.
Do y'all want to know how to play that? I want to know how to play that. I mean,
You
So,
get some paper to fold up. Let's do it.
of course, this is a setup, right? They got the ex-Marines, 2 cars full of people with guns and whatnot sitting out front of a club. And Seon goes in here with Wusag. They don't got no costume. At least Wusag put on a horse head. Because, I mean, come on, guys. Do something. He gets in there, and of course, it's a trap. He ends up in a limousine, and all is in there is what we think is the golden pig. And after he gets knocked out, it's not.
But hold on. Because with this whole thing, is given set up from the beginning.
Absolutely.
The pocket, boom, had a bow, nicely wrapped ribbon, beautiful. Then going into the freak from the hotel to the club. Everyone is in costumes. This is clearly a setup.
Yeah.
Clearly a easy way in, easy way out diversion type of situation going on here. Why are y'all not hit? Third, you get into the limo where you're supposed to be meeting a guy. You meet a golden pig.
Right.
And you get in the limo.
Yeah.
And he say, welcome back to the limo. He said, oh, this is the limo? No, why are you so comfy? Why are you so comfy? What happened to the energy?
I'll tell you
what
why.
happened to the energy? Because
vengeance will make you not think about like the things that are actually not making sense, right? Because we see it. Because if you knew I was following you and looking for you, so you got the nicely wrapped card on with the bow. You told me to meet you at this club.
It was patronizing.
It's a costume. It's Halloween. Everybody just a costume. We don't know who is who. I get into the limo. You're not there, and so you snipe out my 2 trucks. Well, 3 actually, because Junho's car gets trashed too, or like get the flat tire.
Right.
And they weren't trying to kill these people either. They were just trying to like slow them down.
So they could not know where they be.
Exactly. Now
But you asked for it. You asked them to take you like it's your idea.
Because
they manipulated you into thinking
your chip, your tracker is actually still working, and you realize that it's
right. Then it's gone. Then that's another thing too. They would have. This is how I knew they had eyes on them, because when the tracker got implanted, the dentist left, and we were seeing somebody staring at the building as he was leaving.
But who though?
Who you think? It was the
I
pocket
don't know.
guy.
I don't
It
know.
had to be.
I think that it's interesting that they don't have better surveillance outside covering. They need like the Matrix joint. Remember when it had cameras or eyes all over that shit?
And nah, I think they really needed someone a designated set of people to watch the cameras.
Yeah, because nobody's watching the cameras at all times.
They was just when they felt something was off on the
Yeah.
camera, then they'll look. But
Yeah.
there was no designated person to watch the cameras. I think that would have saved them a lot.
Yeah, that's true. So here we are now. He's back in the games, right? He wakes up and people are asking questions and this and that. And here's the trick bag, bro. The trick bag for me is definitely when they come in and now everybody got to sign waivers because you have to actually say you want to participate. If you don't want to participate, it takes people to vote so that you all can go home. Like there's so many different things that they changed from the first one. And
with the waivers being signed in the beginning, everything that Seong is doing at this point might fall on deaf ears.
Oh, it's counterintuitive, absolutely. Because now I've explicitly asked for your permission to do these things and also to continue, right?
And it might be a confidentiality clause because people didn't read; they just were signing.
Oh, but and that's also another point that I would like to point out is that people, we need to start reading the things that we sign our names onto because we all signed rental agreements, cell phone agreements, right? Your car insurance agreements, anything that's a staple of something that you absolutely need in your life in this day and age. We need to start reading our contracts. And I know that seems tedious, and they make them long for a reason, and they make them small for a reason because they feel like you won't actually read it. But I'm wondering what we could find in a contract if we pulled it up and actually read it.
And then you got to understand too, like they manipulated them into even signing the waivers by, like how Tom was saying, they had bigger debts than people even
First
thought.
of all, and I'm
$10 billion in debt.
Listen, I'm gonna say this: you deserve to be in Squid Games. All right, if you owe, because now you got a gambling issue. All right, and who's grandma? Because grandma came in here or mama came in here because her stupid ass son was busy gambling his life away. Now she in here trying to pay off his debt. That's crazy. That's crazy. So you absolutely deserve to be on your deserve to get your ass beat. But since obviously that's not an option over there, you in Squid Games, and now you should be ashamed of yourself, okay? Because owing that much money is absolutely insane. I don't know what that is.
Yo, he bragged about that though. Like, homies, like they don't just give $10 billion to anybody. No shit.
Yeah, I want to know, Tom. Can you see what 10 billion won is in U.S. dollars? I'm just curious because I don't know what that looks like in American dollars.
Because right now it sounds like people stupid.
But people are asking the dumbest questions now they're in there, right? They're like, well, can I get my cell phone because I gotta check my stocks, or can I take a selfie with you? I don't like this jumpsuit that you gave me. Can you give me the one that you're wearing?
The entitlement. It was given today's society much. Like it was really given. Like if Gen Z and millennials went into it right now,
listen,
that's what they would be saying. Like, I'm liking the pink. Give me the pink.
Right. Like, to me, it's crazy. So, of course, this is when Seong sees his friend, and this is his friend from season 1 who he asked to borrow money initially. And he tells him, like, listen, whatever you do, just stay behind me. And, this is the trick bag, too, because we go back into playing red light, green light, and we think it's all, okay, so cool.
I've done this before.
Seong, right? I've done this before. Like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a breeze, and then, and so we'll get to that in a second. But I think they did a good job, right?
Tricking his ass.
Well, no, they did that too, but they did a good job at listening at first. There were so many people who were actually alive a good amount of the game until the bee stung the young girl. and she ends up getting shot. And here's my thing, and I wonder if that's a natural reaction, right? Like if you know that you're gonna get killed if you move, are your is your reaction to run because you've seen somebody else get shot overriding your idea of staying still? Because I'm trying to think, if that was me,
I
would
feel
that
like
be flight or fright?
for
Yes, like Tone said, flight or fright, flights or fights. But you're
I
not
feel
fighting
like
in this situation.
in this situation you are fighting.
The fighting is to stay
The
still.
fighting is to stay still. The
Okay,
fight's your innate
instinct.
instinct to run away. And the bee was ain't shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, definitely not gonna lie.
That bee wasn't
I'd have
right.
got stung that day. I might have died. I might have lived, but I would have
Listen, I
just,
ain't gonna lie. That was bad.
yeah. So I don't know. I think that was very
The front
interesting.
man put it there. Did he? I think I
No,
missed that.
the doors, the top doors opened,
Mhm.
and they were in nature,
Oh,
right? So, and I think that they are actually on an island.
they are.
So I do think that the bee is just naturally came down to
Just
hang out and was
and
like,
then
but let's talk
that
about
was quick though. She
let's
wasn't
talk
even out there that
about
long for that bee to be on there.
Thanos drug ass, because he popped a pill right before going in there, or while he was in there, end up telling the girl like, "Oh, that's a bee because you sweet like honey." She freaks out. Then they decide, as Seong decides, like, oh, okay, if we form lines, we'll be good. And then my man pushes.
The whole front of the
Nah,
line.
bro, he had
I'm not gonna lie.
like I said, I'm glad
I'm
that
not
he
gonna
died.
lie. Thanos snapped his fingers and he took out a lot of people. Okay.
Yeah. I'm over that guy.
Yo,
On
Thanos
so
was,
many
yo, he
levels.
came into this shit like, yo, fuck it.
Listen, it just,
Sacrifice for the good of the rest. You hear me? Like, it's okay.
I literally put to myself in my notes, I'm like, did he say drugs? LOL, because he absolutely did, and I think that that was just like really ridiculous, to some degree, because it just put other people at jeopardy. But we see throughout the entire season that he doesn't really care. So,
Thanos?
yeah, Thanos.
He doesn't care. But so the thing about red light, green light that got me to, they make it all through, whatever, after Thanos pushed the dude. The one guy that gets shot and doesn't get killed, they try to go back and rescue him.
Mm-hmm.
And then
11.
soldier number 11
Yeah.
shoots him in the head after getting across the finish line. I'm not gonna lie to you. I agree he should have died. I'm just saying. He was already shot. He was already marked as out, eliminated.
I would
so
say this.
You deserve to die. Just saying.
My thing is, he didn't even shoot him. The person who shot him first didn't even shoot him in a way where
it could look like he was dead.
Right. Because what like, he's still crawling, he's still talking. Like, no, you need him to gurgle a little bit and be impaired, so it looked like
he's gurgle was crazy.
I mean, hey, listen, I said what I said, but my thing is, I just feel like, also, when did we start going back over the line to get people?
Yo.
So that's something I thought about.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I was like, I didn't know you could go back and save niggas that way. Like, I know you could like help people out when you out there.
Yeah.
But once you cross that line, it's over.
Yeah.
You gonna go back and die for what?
Yeah. So this is where they have their first vote after this game, and Seong is trying to convince folks, and
Seong really thought he could make his own rules. Tone said he was making the rules.
He thought that he could. No, he didn't think making his own rules. I think that he thought that he could change the game, which I guess in turn is kind of making his own. I think he wanted to be the change so bad, and I think that that's also
he wanted to be Neo of the Matrix.
Yeah,
they even made a Matrix reference. Like, why do you want to be the hero so bad?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. To me, the thing is, after seeing that people have signed the waiver, they now have seen, after game one, I'm like, okay, they can see exactly what's going to happen and that he was not lying. And I will say that all of them deserve to be slapped talking about something they made he made them nervous. No, you guys thought he was joking. You thought he was lying when he said y'all was gonna get killed, but he was actually right. Most of y'all lived because of what he did, but nonetheless, they still chose to vote
They
to stay because they all decided that
greedy,
their debts were not going to be covered by what had been put into the pot already.
but they wasn't understanding that the only way to get this money was for people to die.
Yeah.
And that right there is so many ways is a concept that I think a lot of people don't grasp. It's like, yes, you win 45.6 billion won.
But after the
At
first
what
game, they
cost?
could have won 24 million won a piece if they would have split
But
it
24 million won. Tone, can you tell us how much won is? Did you look that
in
up?
US.
In
This
US?
is when we find out that Inho, which is the brother who was causing all the issues, is actually player number one. And this is going back to season one because player number one on season one was the old man who ended up actually living. He didn't die. He was in some rooftop building or some of the other.
That was so crazy.
Yeah.
Every player one is in the game.
Yep. It's
And
part of the
they
game.
are the person.
Yep.
Wow. I didn't even make that realization until just
Yeah.
now. Okay. 1 won is not even a US dollar.
Oh.
That is crazy.
So it's not even a
It's
lot of
point
money.
0.00068 US dollars is 1 won.
Mm.
So they really broke. They over here gambling $20 and in debt. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. I got it.
I'm not doing this with you.
I'm sorry. They out here in debt for $5,000 and losing their life.
Listen,
Yo, I can't.
that's
I
crazy.
cannot.
But I will say this. So we find out that Inho is number one. And in my mind, I'm like, this dude is Delulu because he is diabolical.
Diabolical.
He
for
put
sure.
himself in the games. And, you know, he's like low key trying to, what they call it,
I think
spank
he's
your way
trying. I
in.
think he's just trying to gain an understanding of like
Why
why
he
this man
does.
operate the way he does. Like,
Mhm.
what do you have to gain? Like, what is your motive? Like, I think that's really why he even got close to Sejong in the.
Oh, I agree.
Because it was
I
like,
agree.
I just have to know. Like, you wanted to meet me so bad. Why?
Why?
Like, what's motivating you? Like, why do you care?
He just wants to he wants to save people, and I think
Like,
that's a little bit problematic in
let,
itself,
yo, let me
for
know,
good
man.
reason.
What y'all think?
But
What y'all think is the
you know.
motivating force behind homie going into the game? Like, I just want to
Yeah.
know. Because
Yeah.
it could be just like the last one. The old dude, he just wanted to play.
He did. Yeah, I don't know, man. I am really curious to see whether or not we're gonna get season 3 or if there's a part 2. Either way, I want to know what happens next because there's a lot happening, right? So we have um so now that Seong has shared that he's been here before, people were like, "Oh, all right, bet. Well, we can win because you don't went through this before, right?" And I think that's problematic because, again, back to the greed. People are so greedy that they are willing to put other people's lives on the line in order to just get some of this money. And so Inho he breaks up a fight, basically trying to gain some points, right? And he does with Seong, but
I
not
don't
with
even know
us.
if he did it to gain points.
He definitely did.
I think he did it only because he didn't like them niggas.
No, because remember the two Marines are talking, and the older guy is saying to the younger guy, like, "Hey, somebody should break up this fight." And he looks at the young guy, but the young guy's not moving. So Seong is kind of looking at both of them, and Inho comes up, and he's like, "Hey guys, let's cut it out." Right? He's like trying to. I think he did it for points. I think everything that he did was very calculated. And it was to gain Seong's trust in order to do what he did towards the end. And I think that's
that could be true.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think his friend was a real Marine, or he ain't do shit in the Marines. One or the other. Like, I feel like because he was annoying. But I'm not gonna lie though, he was holding his own with
Which
the
one?
gun.
The old man?
The friend 390.
Oh, I feel like he was. I mean, he knew how to use that gun and
He
he
did
knew
know
how
how
to
to use
give
the
out them
gun.
orders. So
Yeah.
I will say that he was.
Yeah. Initially though, I was a little skeptical though. I was like,
I think he's one of those people that get out of the
just
military and
goofy.
then they goofy because
Yeah.
like now they out, they can drink and do all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, he has a
Yeah.
gambling, issue. So there's that. This is when we find out that what they call it, my soldier number 11 is messing up the bag for the organ donation because she out here popping people in the head.
Right.
And they're trying to figure out like what's going on, but none of the organs are good for this batch or this go around. And this is when Junho goes to the cops, and then nobody believes him, and he decides to just do it on his own.
Right.
Um, or he has proof now because Seong got taken, but
Right.
nonetheless he still ends up on his own.
But being that Seong got taken, that's only half proof because the tracker got placed on a fisherman's bag.
Yeah,
So
which was
now
crazy.
they went on a whole wild goose chase just for them to end up in the same predicament. What I didn't know was the way the islands are set up. Like, I don't know if you paid attention to the map. If you guys seen the maps, it was literally floating in the middle of nowhere when they put the tracker, right?
Right.
But yet they were sitting on the island. They were standing on land.
That's true.
Therefore, right, I feel
Well, he was very close to the water though. Remember that he was like out a little bit on that little rock where the canister was, very at
right,
the edge because he was fishing.
right.
That could have something to do with
But
it.
I'm just saying,
But that is interesting now that.
it's definitely like how the captain said. There's so many small islands in between here and da da da. But I feel like the only reason they gave that fisherman the bait is because he was the closest person at the time.
Yeah, probably.
So he could be close to the base, is all I'm saying. Like it could be a port nearby, because where else did he get the bait from?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I will say that this is where I had my suspicions about Captain Snake because it just seemed like he played too stupid for me, and that's the telltale for me. When you start acting stupid, you asking dumb questions.
Nah, well, he was putting shit together at the lunch table.
Oh yeah,
That's when
I was like, why is Happy Man telling all this man's business? Why he's talking about Seong, like telling all Seong's business? I ain't like it. So
I ain't like it either. And he was like, "Oh, that's why you got these guys with you."
Yeah.
Oh, that's how da 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 da.
Yeah.
And so I feel from there is when it really started to pick up for me.
Yeah.
Because Seong had his own tail, but Junho had his tail too after his brother shot him. And the person that his brother chose was the person that actually worked for them, like that he feel was going to keep his brother safe and keep him on a wild goose chase.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with that.
Because I feel if his brother would have found, if Junho would have found another captain, another boat person, they would have found the item a long time ago.
Yeah, that's true. I just,
because it just always magically is bad weather, whirlpools in the areas that they were searching. But as we see on that island, there's not much bad weather in the first place.
Right, yeah, that's true. I think that he was so blinded with gratefulness that he got pulled out the water that he didn't realize that the captain had been bought. Well, even if he hadn't been bought originally, he got bought somewhere along the lines. And I think that that's crazy. And so we go into our game number 2. This is after Seong had the conversation about it was whatever the cookie game was, where they had to lick the cookie and pin out the shape and whatnot, right? And we find out it's a completely different game, and this is the game where there are 5 mini games inside of the game. And so
6-leg relay race, man.
The 6-legged relay. Well, they're stuck together throughout the whole time. Then they have to go to what's the first game? I can't remember. The first game is,
so the first one was
Dachi.
Daki.
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 Oh,
Daki
yeah, that's the original game
is
that they play
yes,
in the subway
and
station.
it's
So that's the
yes,
envelopes. Then
envelopes.
you go on to number 2, which is the rock throw,
Right.
right? Then you go on
To
to number 3,
three.
which is, I'm not gonna lie, the very our set, which is where Seong is, right? Um,
Daki.
he killed that. Like he ain't even like everybody else messed up, right?
Mhm.
But he did that on the first try. I will say that grandma's joint was funny though because it sounded like grandma picture being
It's
that slut
daddy.
that daddy was with, and then she
Girl.
like grabbed her hair. I said,
Yeah,
nah, this is
I said, yo.
hilarious. No
She
way.
said, no, first of all, he said, I thought you used to play with bullets in the army.
Right,
She
yeah,
said, you right. Tap,
right.
tap, 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 tap. I was like, oh, okay.
So Grady got a
Okay.
little bit, but nah, my dude who with the four sisters, oh, he killed that.
I'm
Like
not gonna
he
lie.
played that like he
The
hello.
game that's pissed me off the most was the spinning top with the shaman crazy lady.
Oh, she was irritating.
Spinning
She was
top.
so. She's also on my hit list. I would like for her to die. I would also like for her to die. And why didn't somebody punch her in the face when she walked past them talking about some? Oh, I've seen your deaths. They're gonna be horrible, and you're all gonna die. I would have punched her slam in the face. Shaman
First of
that.
all, when she said your fates are already decided, stay here. I said, oh, she's a crazy one.
Listen, she's a loop hole. She's loop de loop, okay? And the
Listen,
fact that she never sat with everybody else, girl, no ma'am. Because she was always on the very top bunk.
right.
Always on the very top bunk. I didn't, she just was
But
very
she
weird.
honestly, if I was in that position, I would have been in the top bunk too. Because I want to
Mm.
get an eagle bird's eye view of everybody and everything. If I see you coming my way, but then again, I did see that riot later on, and
I mean, I understood that if you were able to put something like around the bed so you could hear people coming, right? But I even think when it comes to the fight, the better idea was to be underneath the bed because you still
Mhm.
have to like get under there to get me and all this other stuff
Right.
nonetheless. But in game number 2, the first two teams don't make it. Not only do they not make it, they get shot right there in front of everybody else. And not only do they do that, but the soldiers come in with the casket boxes and load them up right in front of everybody else who's going to
Yo,
play.
shout
And
out to number 11 though. Again,
oh, for us saying
because
open the box,
open the
nah,
box.
she's wild.
She was executing
I want to
everything.
know what is her deal and why. Because if she is, everybody else is on board with the organ donor
Because she's
thing.
not originally one of them. She was
No, she was
found,
found. Yeah,
and I think
she came
that's
from
what
the
it is.
carnival, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So
and that yeah, this is very interesting. But also, let's talk about this. Are the organ donors the
mhm.
bodies who don't get killed all the way? Are those bodies not counted in the money pot? Because remember, in another episode, they go on to say, "What you mean 111 bodies? There was way more people that got killed than that." So I'm wondering if that means that those bodies didn't get counted, but
No.
that shouldn't be
No.
possible.
Because the whole thing is to appear as if that these people are dying without you
This is
harvesting their
true.
organs.
This is true.
If people knew you were harvesting their organs, they'll be acting more like Seong.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very true.
Like, I don't know. That's interesting.
I was just thinking about that.
But they could have felt like more people died, but more people really survived. Because as we see in this season, we have a lot more survivors throughout the games
Yeah.
than honestly, I really am kind of disappointed in not getting some of the older games back besides Red Light, Green Light. I think Red Light, Green Light is definitely the staple of Squid Game
Yeah.
besides the Squid Game. But yeah,
What game would you have brought back?
I wanted to see the glass ladder thing when they walk and
Yeah.
try to guess which
Yeah. I think that
thing.
probably was one of my favorite games
That was
as
probably
well.
definitely one of my favorites. And what else did they do? The cookie I wouldn't have brought back
No.
because especially because he already knew. So I did like that they threw him a curveball with second challenge.
Yeah, I do like that too. So what really pissed me off though was Inho acting like he couldn't spin the top, my guy. Like
I'm not gonna lie.
that pissed me off,
But the
bro.
thing about the top, that's why the spinning top pissed me off through the whole shit though, because it's like everyone when they got to the spinning top fumbled the spinning top. I'm like,
Did
how
they?
hard is it to spin a top?
Well, first of all, let's be honest. We play the American spin top. We just take the top and we just right. I don't know
Right,
nothing about no
straight.
yo
Listen,
spin the top.
it look like Beyblade. Yo, Cone, that's what I'm talking about. Just listen,
I don't know nothing
just
about
give me a
that.
Beyblade. Listen,
I don't
that's
know
what it
nothing
looked
about
like.
that.
It looked like the first Beyblade. Actually, it probably is the first Beyblade for real.
So we do
Funny.
also finally get to see them join forces with Pregnant Girl, right? Which is
Oh, 222.
yes, of course. She's
Yeah,
actually a lucky number.
Kim June, an angel number. Well, her baby father got 333, so I guess they all got lucky
Child.
numbers. But he got beat
Maybe.
up every day.
He definitely got it. But he kind of deserved that. But also he don't on the same he
Listen,
I'm
first of
torn.
all,
Here's why. Because you are supposed to read the disclaimer. He said that did you when he talked to the crazy dude Thanos, he said, did you not see the disclaimer where I said that it's still up to you to make this judgment call, even though I'm giving you this advice? Whenever you're dealing with stocks in any form or fashion, you're supposed to know that the information that somebody is giving you is still just based off of what they know. If you don't think it's a good idea, you should not invest in it.
right? And also, he told them you should have sold.
He did. He definitely said you should have sold. It's not my fault that you didn't sell when I told you to. So
Right.
there's that. So let's get into 007 because he is not 007. He is a wussy, as his mama calls him, because you left your mama. You left your mama.
Next game, carousel of
Listen,
death.
that carousel was crazy as hell. For real.
Carousel of death,
It was
man.
really ridiculous. But it's called. Oh yes, it was the Mingle game.
Mingle.
Nah, bro, mad disrespectful. So did
Nah.
he leave his mom or did he get hijacked?
You can't get hijacked if your mom is there, bro.
They did hold on to him pretty tight.
And then I would have grabbed my mom too.
Okay,
And then we would
I'm
have
just
figured
saying.
it. Then we would have figured it out from
See,
there.
we would have had to. We would have had to lock
We would have
somebody.
figured it out
We
from
would have
there.
enhold somebody
Listen,
with the
I'm not gonna lie.
chokeholds.
I'm not gonna lie. In that game, at first I ain't get it. And then when I got it, and I was like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
don't want to play this game no more."
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I knew that. But you know what? Here's the thing.
'Cause it said 10 people.
Listen,
Okay.
another telltale sign was Inho said what? They said, "Oh, what do you think?" They said this is going to be the final round. Somebody said, "Well, what?" I think it was Say Young. He said, "What number do you think they're going to pick?" He said 2, because at the end you still need only 100 people. They called 2. I'd have been like, "Nah, something's not right. You just make it." I wouldn't even told him that I felt like it was a setup, right? I wouldn't have let him know that I was onto him, but I would have definitely took notice. Like, nope, something's wrong. I can't trust this dude. Hello.
Listen.
And I was very sad that Minho died because I liked her.
I was so sad that with that whole carousel game, right? It made my freaking nerves go left and right.
Why?
Because first of all, the mom got snatched up right after the son did, so
That's
she
true.
didn't get killed. So that made me feel great. Okay, the way that you just seen them walking people down at the 3, 2, 1, and I was like, yo, they have no remorse.
No, they don't.
No remorse whatsoever, man. Crazy.
I just feel like for me, that game was very intense, but also, again, the fact that they don't clean, and I don't know if they ever did, because I know with the red light, green light. So here's the thing: we didn't really see last season. There weren't a lot of games that required cleanup.
They all
People
dropped to the
just
death.
right. You either just dropped or you like just most like you fell somewhere or something like that. Now you got
Or
to
you got
clean up with the
shot.
carousel. You got the second game with all the 5 mini games. You end up having the walk over the blood. It was like so much.
Yo,
It
it
and
was
it's
definitely more gory this season.
but here's the thing: you would think that after seeing the blood or having to walk in it multiple times, you'd be like, "All right, like this is too much. It's enough. I'm out of here. It's a wrap."
They like, I ain't die, you did. So give me your money.
Man, that's crazy. But like I put down in my notes, all these gamblers again back to you deserve to get your ass beat. You know what I'm saying? You need a real mobster that breaks your pinky because you owe them money.
Yo, first of all, can we talk about real mobsters?
Mm-hmm.
Because these soldiers, they some real gangsters.
Mm-hmm.
Because with the soldiers running down on number 11
Yeah.
in the room, talking about if you get in my way again, like we
Oh, listen.
listen
Yeah, the amount it was a lot of bullying this season.
on all fronts. On all fronts,
Yeah,
man.
that's crazy.
It's definitely like crazy how they really pinned her down, talking about you got a cute face and this and that. I was like, it's cringy. It gave very cringe.
It is.
All right, trigger warning for everyone who's creating a show moving forward. We do not want to see people R worded, okay? We do not.
I don't want to see what?
People R worded.
Oh.
Yeah. I do not.
R worded is hilarious.
R worded,
I like
man.
it.
R worded.
I just feel like as we kept going forward, there were just so many different things that I saw that I was just like, first of all, this dude's a traitor. Right? We should call him Captain Traitor here.
Yeah.
Watch out. Captain Traitor, right? And
what was he doing with the drone?
He was making sure it didn't work.
Mm.
That's my
So that means we was getting too. Well, that obviously we was getting too close because the freaking bomb exploded.
It's a drone. Oh my god, the things that you kids use. Nah, I was like, this is suspect. If I ever, it's no problem when you watch a lot of TV.
First of all, the captain was only 50.
Listen, sir, you know what a drone is, okay? You don't live under a rock, in a cliff, under a mountain. You know what a drone is, sir. I don't
He
like
said,
it.
I live in a boat.
You're a liar. you're a liar. So I'm just like, this is crazy, and I'm wondering because we don't see the second boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they still alive? Are those soldiers and all those other people still alive? Because if this captain is in it, chances are.
But the second boat came from the ex-Marines people.
No.
Yeah, no.
No. The captain said he knew a guy.
I knew a guy. Oh, I thought they said the other guy knew a guy. It was the captain that knew the guy. Oh, the captain definitely know a lot of guys.
Yeah, it's a setup.
It's a setup. It's a they dead.
Yeah.
They ain't even alive.
So this is the part where what is his name?
Gi-hun?
No. Seyoung's friend is like wrestling back and forth with telling him.
What's his name? Daewoo?
No, Daewoo's the other guy. I forgot his name, but he's the one.
Junbei.
Yeah, Junbei. He's wrestling with going back and forth with telling Seyoung that this dude killed this man while we were in that last game, bro. Like he dead ass will do anything. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was just like, first of all, get it out. You're taking too long. Spit it out because it needs to be told.
The dude made it. The other Marine made it hot too.
Yeah, he did. Because he was about to tell this weird story.
Eat your food. What are you doing?
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
Wow,
it's very
Make
weird.
it make sense to me. Why would you tell him I'm saying it's weird if it's weird in front of him?
Because people don't know how to read the room sometimes. It's mad stupid.
Hey.
Ew. So we go to our third vote, right? And this is the vote that gets everything crazy. It's a split vote. We're looking at Inho, and he looked like he about to hit the blue button, but he keeps the red button. For what reason? Because he's playing into the game. So they're
Listen,
trying to recruit.
Inho hitting the red button, the riot happens. Inho hitting the blue button, the riot does not happen.
Oh, that's a good one. That's very good. Okay. Yeah, so he hits the red button. We got the split, right? Of all people, Wussy over there tries to convince the O's to come over to the X's, right? And that doesn't work. So they somehow all end up in the bathroom. By this time, Seong understands when he opens his food that they have forks because now they have given them weapons, right? This is the time where the fighting gets serious because now we can actually kill you, not just beat you up and have to strangle you to death. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think to myself, first of all, I'm kind of confused with that.
But
If I've been there before and I open up my food and I know that there's a fork, why am I not gonna say to the people on my side, knowing that we need to defend ourselves, to keep your fork handy? It's like he didn't mention that. You don't need a fork to eat sushi.
you don't need a fork to eat sushi. But you gotta also think he wasn't trying to hurt nobody until he was trying to hurt niggas.
Yeah, well, that turned into a very crazy bloodbath
I'm not
inside of the
gonna lie.
bathroom.
That brawl
In
though
the bathroom, or
in the bathroom,
mhm.
yeah, that was crazy. When Thanos came through messing with Ming-Su, I was mad. I ain't gonna lie.
He been missing like
Minsu,
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. These Asian boys they need to come to America because the American Asian boys ain't letting y'all Asians over there do what y'all doing. I'm
Listen,
just letting
I
y'all
literally put they
right
gave
now.
him forks. Shit is up in my notes.
Listen, listen.
For
When
real.
he choked, what's his name? 333,
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin guy, and he said, "I'm done with your shit," and stabbed him in the fucking,
Yeah.
and then again in the neck. I said, "Oh."
Yeah.
He pulled it out. The blood went over his face. I said, "Oh,
But why you leave your fork though? We need that. Go get
oh,
that. Put that in your pocket.
yo."
What you
But
doing?
the man's picked it up.
No, yes, of course he picked it up because he knew that it's wartime and he needed it. First of all, the X side had two of the biggest wussies, include three, because I'm gonna
Oh,
just put Mama's Boy in there,
mm-hmm.
Dayho in there, and the other one who let the girl who stuck up for him get killed.
Minsu.
The one, no, Minsu is the one that was on top of the bed.
Yeah, Minsu was the one who was in the toilet. And he snuck out when the fight
Ah,
began.
yes, you're right. You're
Then
right. You're right.
he threw the bottle down at the dude, but he let her die anyway.
How you
So
know?
he
Listen, as soon as he looked up to see where the bottle came from, I would have stabbed him.
she did. She tried to.
She didn't
He
move
caught
fast.
it.
No, he
He
didn't.
caught her.
Yeah, she didn't move fast
He
enough.
caught her.
She
What
didn't
was
move
she
fast
supposed to
enough.
do? He said, "You think I'm pussy?" He said, "You think I'm a dick?"
No, here's the thing. There was ways for her to do that because you gotta get him where he can't get you.
Listen,
I
man.
was sad she died.
What would y'all had done,
I'm not gonna
man?
lie.
What would y'all had done differently in that brawl, man? Would y'all have been a fighter or a flighter? Which one would y'all have been? Let me know. Are y'all going after the guns? Because I'm not gonna lie, that plan to go after the guns was smooth, but reckless as hell.
The plan to what? To go after the guards' guns was
Uh-huh.
stupid. It was never a good plan. It was never a good
It worked
plan.
out.
It didn't work out.
It worked out.
For who?
It worked out for everybody who died.
Because I was gonna say it ain't work out for nobody. That was a stupid plan. I think that's the part that I was most mad at Young for because again, when he made the comment about you're willing to sacrifice a few for the good, it's like you're not understanding what's happening here. You're literally putting these like we're not even telling these people to hide. We're not telling them to take out their forks. Like at the least bit, I would have did that. If we know what the plan is, here's the plan, guys. We need y'all to get under the beds. They're gonna come after us and attack us. You got forks on your sushi? Okay, cool. Get your fork out. Get ready to stab some people. Okay. After that, we're gonna make a run for the guards' guns. We're gonna take the guns. We're gonna go up these stairs and we're gonna kill all these people so that way we don't ever have to play the games again. But this was a setup from the jump, and it was people's lives that were going to be destroyed and taken on this vengeful journey that Seong went on to. And as we see, it unfolds just like that. I'm not gonna lie, they got a lot further than I thought they was gonna go. Daeho, oh my gosh, dude, I don't know if him and Uni are gonna die, but I'm more likely thinking that they will.
Not gonna lie to you, my favorite character, great character development, Uni.
I love Uni's character.
Uni.
Yeah.
Uni.
Yeah.
Did not think I was gonna fuck with Uni as much as I fuck with Uni. I
like their character.
I like their character too.
Yes.
Okay. Uni.
Yeah, it's really great. It was great character development, getting to know their story, understanding, and even with grandma having those questions and not being, like
overly intrusive.
Yeah, she was very curious for an older woman because they are kind of in that space where they don't really understand what's happening.
Right.
So I definitely get it. We see them get further, like I said, get further than they're supposed to. Of course, now Inho is now about to show his colors. He takes out the last two, which is I'm just mad because
listen,
I like that little short guy. I thought he was cool.
You know who I didn't expect to fold?
I don't understand. I don't understand sleepy.
Listen, you know who I didn't expect to fold? The guy who went back to the dorm for the
I knew he was gonna fold. Are you crazy? My man did not even know how to load the gun. He was when Uni was going through instructions and he said yes, my man was still trying to figure out how to put the clip in. He had no idea what to do. He did not know how to use it.
I thought he was just going. Listen.
No, my man was shaking.
I knew he didn't know how to
in boots.
How to maneuver,
bro.
I knew he didn't know how to maneuver, but nah.
Puss in boots.
So my thing, what happened to homie that killed Shorty? Did he go with them with the guns?
No, he was on the O side.
On the O side, just chilling, right?
Yeah, everybody who was on the O side chilled. Here's the thing: everybody who left with Seong is a minus person for the team who wanted to go home. So you've lost 1, 2, 3, 4.
You lost at least 8 people.
I don't know if it was 8. I think maybe between 5 and 6.
At
but
least
they
8.
will. But
at least 8.
Really?
Because you got to think they was 3,
Seong,
4,
Daeho, friend, short guy, small guy. I'm on 7 right now.
It was yeah.
So yeah,
you're like 7. So
8. It's 7 or 8. So we didn't lose 7 or 8 because Seong, Uni, and Daeho are still alive. Those are the only 3. But Uni and Daeho might get killed, right? Because they were out there, so they popped everybody else, and they probably will pop.
That will be everybody. Yeah. So that'd be freaking 7 people.
But they're not gonna pop Seong, so
they not because he's the martyr. He's the lesson to be taught. He's the person that's gonna win again, and they're gonna force him to take the money. And that's what I'm calling.
I hope.
Let me know what y'all think.
He's gonna win the money again, you think? Well,
or he gonna be the fall guy. Imagine.
Oh.
He's been back twice.
That will be interesting. Tell us what y'all think. We appreciate you for rocking with us.
Yes.
Entire hour and some change review.
Listen, we know it's a lot we skipped and that we missed, but listen, let us know a lot.
But you know what? If we missed something, let us know. You know we love feedback, and I'm finna respond to y'all because he be sleeping. That's why he don't respond to y'all comments. So,
oh my god.
But we'll be here next time, and we got some new things coming up for y'all. So we excited, and we will have better artwork in the background next time you see us.
We're gonna have a whole new aesthetic for y'all. This is new, so we're gonna give y'all something new. You feel me? So
until next time, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.